Here it is. Wednesday. Hold on. I don't think this is the right setup. Is this? Okay, there we go. There we go. Isn't that better?
Looks good. Yep.
It's Wednesday. And if it's Wednesday, you know what time it is. It's chasing gazillions. Not the same as making millions.
Getting closer in the West Gables Rehab Center.
Getting closer in the West Gables Rehab Center. Oh, that's right. Oh my goodness. You just reminded me. Your mom
Taking bullets.
fell. Your mom's
Taking
hurt
bullets.
herself.
She took a full header, busted her, fractured her shoulder. She went to the hospital. Now she's rehabbing, and I am here taking care of her for the week
Oh my goodness.
down in Miami, Florida.
How old is your mom?
86.
Oh, 86. She
Yeah.
she she's still feisty. She's
Oh, feisty as hell. Yeah, she's doing well. I mean, she's gonna be fine. She's just
gonna be fine.
she busted up her right shoulder, so she's right hand dominant. So the left hand is she's trying to figure out how to use her left hand. So I'm
Sure.
helping feed her and stuff like that.
Okay.
Just keeping her company while she's getting better.
Okay.
I
So
got
so
5 brothers down here though that are helping her out as well, but I figured let me give them a break for this week, and then they'll step in next week.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Okay, good. So you flew down to you said Miami, Florida?
Miami. Yeah,
Miami. Okay. Great.
so
You're a
I'm
good
here.
son.
Waldo's in Miami.
You got five brothers. You the baby, you the oldest,
I'm in the middle.
you in the middle.
Yeah, there's 6 of us, 6 boys, all boys.
Is that right?
Yes,
And you're in the middle.
number 4.
What's that like, man? What's that like being in the middle? It's like Malcolm in the middle, Fernando in the middle.
It's good. I like it. Fun.
Okay.
I get beat up and I beat up, so it's a little bit of both.
All right. All right. Well, that's great. Well, hold on. Dude, is some people already? Well, some people are already watching this. I didn't notice it before. The little eye pops up. People are watching us and viewing the show. They're not necessarily coming onto the chat. And if you're out there watching us, please hit the subscribe button. I've learned I'm supposed to tell you to subscribe to our show so that you'll get the notice when we go live and we're here Wednesdays with Fernando and Anthony. Just two real estate professionals kicking it and sharing life experiences, uh, ins and outs of the business from what we've learned collectively over these 70 plus years we've been in the business. And we got a nice topic here today. This is season 1, episode 16.
16. Yes.
Episode 16. That's right.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think episode 20, we're going to have a guest host, a surprise guest host.
Maybe some champagne.
Exactly. Coming up. So lock that in. But today's episode is a good one. We're going to be talking about, does it really work? Does that really work? Does that really work like that? Does it really work? And we're going to be looking at uh, resources, the two primary resources, CURBIO and Keller offers in today's marketplace as real estate professionals. And you find yourself taking a new listing. And we're going to be talking just about that. This past week, I had a good week. I think I took 5 listings this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
And
took 5 bullets here with the family, but I'd rather have 5 listings.
there you
That's
go.
good though. That's great. It's a good
Yeah,
week.
it is great. And so one of those listings at 601 U Street Northwest, beautiful row townhome in the historic LaDroit Park community here in Washington, D.C. It's in the shadows of Howard University Hospital. It was a part of that. Howard owned these properties, and in 2001, partnered with the Fannie Mae. I think the Fannie Mae Foundation built these homes here and for professors and the elite and so forth. And it is just a beautiful community, right? I mean, I'm not even kidding you. It's Six and U, which is one block from Six and Florida Avenue, and all that's happening in that U Street corridor. I mean, you are the walkability of this property is almost 100. It's like 98, 99 is the walkability for this property
Yeah,
to
you don't
walk.
need a car there. You don't need a
No,
definitely
not at
don't need a
all.
car.
But
Right.
guess what? You don't need a car. But this 1,600 square foot townhouse has two off street parking spaces. Even
Off
though
street, behind it or in front?
behind it,
Nice.
yes, nice, nice. And so it's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and no basement. But a beautiful home, hardwood floors. It's nice. But here's the thing:
What's the price on it?
uh, brought it to market at 899,000, 899.
You should move that. That's right in the ballpark of what that is. I thought it'd be like 900 and some. So that's a good price.
Well, that's the thing. We priced it there to be competitive. But here's what we want to talk about with the show. The property does need some updating. We're selling it as is, and it does need some sprucing, some things. Right, not major things. This property is absolutely ready to go, live in ready, broom clean. Right now, you can move in, you can start living. I
Bring
was
your
there
clothes.
today,
Bring
huh?
your furniture and clothes, and you're ready to go.
Exactly, you could. However, sure,
There's
and we're
always
not talking about.
for
Well, it's always a however,
yes.
right? People, it doesn't have the central AC system and all. It's a couple years old. That's great. Uh, but the deck, for example, out in the rear, the deck's been there. It's weathered. You like a newer deck, fencing. It's got a nice yard in the rear. The stairs, carpet, but you might would like hardwood floors throughout the stairs. The bathrooms, you might like the inserted lights and update, the bathroom vanity. So there's some updating certainly that the property could use.
So the
And
price is
here
reflecting that because whoever buys are gonna have to invest some money in it. Is what you're saying.
exactly, but here's the thing. So you're a seller and you're facing a property like this where in this market now, properties that are fully finished, ready to go, turnkey, are selling faster and for higher value when buyers are coming in and they don't have to do anything. I mean, it's all staged, it's ready to go. And so, what do you do when you have this type of property? It needs some work. And by some work, we mean, I don't know, uh, 30 to, you know, $75,000
But
worth of work.
cosmetic mostly, not structural
We're
or
not. It's all
major
interior remodeling,
Yeah,
updating,
cosmetic, right?
cosmetic. We're not talking about removing walls and anything. It's freshly painted, hardwood floors finished. It's that sort of interior remodeling, cosmetic. A deck in the rear, a newer deck with the newer modern materials. Okay, so what do you do when you're selling that type of property and you don't have the funds to do it? Now, if you're on the buy side and you're coming into an opportunity like this, there are lending programs available to you as a buyer. The one that comes to mind is the FHA 203K program, lending program, which allows home buyers to both acquire a property and set aside remodeling, renovation monies. And once those monies are properly dispersed and the work is done and completed and signed off on, it rolls into one loan at the end of the process. This is a product that was created years ago because persons were having to have money to acquire a property. Then you had to go out and get practically a construction loan to renovate and remodel the property. It just was difficult. So they have those products if you're a buyer. But what about if you're a seller and you want to position your property for its maximum opportunity, the maximum benefit? You want to do paint. You want to update the bathrooms that haven't been updated in the last 10, 15 years. You want to update the kitchen to today's standards. Um, you want to put on a new deck, and you don't have $70,000.
Is the squeeze worth it though? I mean, say you do all that and you find the 70 grand. Are you going to get 960 for it, 970? Or are you going to get a million too? You know, if you're going to only get 960, 970, I would say I wouldn't do it, right? I mean, it has to be worth the squeeze, right?
Well, and you know what? And that is where working with real estate professionals,
Professional, right?
you
Yeah.
yes, you determine the value of the squeeze, as Fernando has used in the vernacular, in the real estate vernacular, the squeeze. Okay, so here we have a property, and let's you take a property, and let's say um you how much, quote, squeeze return on the investment is enough to warrant you taking advantage of this type of program like QBO offers. But before we get into the return on investment, let's back up and talk a little bit more about these programs. Both Keller Williams, which is a firm I'm affiliated with, has Keller offers, which allows us, me as a real estate professional, to both acquire properties, to offer in some jurisdictions uh, monies based on the equity in the property, or in most jurisdictions based on the credit worthiness of the owner. So this is a program that is targeted towards owners of the property who can secure, you know, monies needed to spruce up the property to present the best face forward, the best possible property in the marketplace. QBO is a second product, and I want to tell you about that. I had this opportunity here today to work with those representatives over at QBO on a project, and so far it's been smooth. And let's start off with the beginning. So you think you want to do some sprucing, you're not sure how much it's going to cost. Well, I contacted QBO today. I went online, I put in the address of the property, told them I was a real estate agent, told them I had a listing, and within 30 minutes, it wasn't even 30 minutes. They had a click schedule, and I was literally on the phone with a representative. It's probably more like 15 minutes with a representative talking about my client's property. And I was on with a representative who appeared to be an experienced, established estimator who knew the DC market, knew real estate, had looked up my listing, was familiar with my property, was looking at it from Google Earth, and was looking at my property. And then we talked about what things the real estate professional thought the property needed to present it in its best face. I shared that information with the estimator, and I'm here to tell you, just like they advertise, that was this morning, maybe before noon or around noon, but by 5 o'clock, I had received an estimate of the work that we had talked about doing, and an estimate of what it would cost to do that work, as well as a scheduled appointment for them to come in and do a Matterport, right? If you're not familiar with Matterport, Matterport is the three-dimensional videography of a property that allows you to go in and tour a property in real three-dimensional terms, the actual property. You turn, it's not just pictures, but it's actually a very high-end three-dimensional videography. So they already scheduled a tour of the property for Matterport. So now I have an estimate. Now, you as a seller, you get these estimates, and it's like, okay, now what? We have a property that's listed for X. We now been told they can invest Y number of dollars into the property to fix it up. And here's the beauty of the program, so that this is not lost. You don't you repay those monies at settlement. There's no upfront deposit. There's no upfront fees. There's no interest on the money. It's the monies that you establish to do the work. They're going to advance that money, do the work with their contractors, and then recover those monies at settlement.
They got to have some security. They're making you sign a promissory note, or they have to check the equity, make sure they're comfortable with the spread between what they owe and what you're selling it for. And there has to be some sort of safeguard for them, right?
Well. So far, we haven't gotten to. There is going to be a contractual obligation, sure, of some sort, and in there, and let me just share that with you. I had this technology here. I was going to do this
Because it's
because
not like playing a termite inspector or an appraiser who's $300, $500. I mean, you're talking thousands of dollars, and I think it's kind of risky for them. But if they can do that, that's great for the homeowner. I mean, that is a real benefit.
it is a real benefit, and I'm looking for the window.
I got to think they're putting some sort of lien on the property,
I wouldn't think it's a lien. I would think it's
maybe like a
probably
UCC, something a lighter
well.
type of lien.
You're right. I don't think there's in some of these cases here. It's probably a promissory note. It may be some sort of lien. We haven't gotten that far. I was
Right.
looking to see if I could actually get the screen up for CURBIO. But let's go on with how the process was working. So far in the process, you go online, they give you an estimate. If you agree to the estimate, they do a Matterport, and then yes, the next step would be agreeing that. And during this conversation that I had with the estimator, uh, she's leaning on me as the real estate professional to give her market information about the property, what I think is listed for, what I had to share with them, what the comps were in the area, where I thought the property would sell today in its as is condition, where I thought the property would sell in its after remodeled condition.
Those are those data points they need to make a decision, I would think, right? I mean, those are
Oh
those.
no. They collected that information from me
Yeah,
today during my discussion. And then
yeah.
they provided me at the end of the day with not only the estimate, but a side-by-side comparison of where the property we projected would sell as is and what the return would be, less the mortgage and expenses, and then a comparison to where we thought the property would sell after remodeling and less the expenses in the mortgage. And then you get that return, and then you decide from there at that point. So today, in
Is
one
the
day,
juice worth the squeeze? Is the question now.
exactly. And so when you get that number, that return on investment, what you're referring to as the juice from the squeeze, how do you then decide, is it worth it?
Buenas, buenas. ¿Cómo está?
Yes. And so what I wanted to share with our audience is that deciding on whether it's worth it takes into consideration a number of different factors. Here are some to consider. How much time do you have to sell the property? If your circumstances are such that you need to sell the property relatively fast, you're relocating, you're in the military, family health issues have dramatically changed in your life, and now you need to sell your property relatively fast. By relatively fast, I'm suggesting the next 30, 60 days where you cannot afford to have a property sitting on the market 30, 60 days while you are looking to get the right buyer.
Correct.
So your individual circumstance will impact that. Second, the QBO program already addresses the issue of if you have monies or not, because they're going to provide the monies. So and then finally, it's well the juice, the squeeze. If, for example, you are going to invest $100,000 to fix up the property, and then it only yields you 100,000, well, then that's a wash,
Not
and
worth it.
it's
Not
not
worth it.
worth it. Exactly. So then that's what you have to look at. What is the amount of return in relationship to the amount of both the amount of money invested and the time? Now, here's the thing about time also to consider. In this market right now, today, interest rates are climbing. And as interest rates climb, this is impacting the buying power of potential buyers out there and what they can afford to pay for your property. So that's impacting them. Also in our market right now, supply chain.
Here we
We know
go. Supply chain. I hate those. I hate that term. I hear it everywhere though. Supply chain issue. That's an excuse now for everything. Supply
I
chain issue.
don't know if
Okay.
it is an excuse. If it's true,
I don't think it's true all the time. I just don't.
it might not be true all the time.
Right.
Because sometimes I'm late because I just drag my behind. It wasn't traffic. It really wasn't traffic. I
Right.
just left late.
You were late pre-COVID, all right. So I don't want to hear about you. Late your thing. That's your thing. Okay.
So here's the thing though. But if contractors now have to come in, order supplies, get them delivered, they don't have them at Home Depot, because clearly you're doing this to get a higher quality of product. I'm not knocking Home Depot, although I don't shop at Home Depot. I go to Lowe's, only because there's people at Lowe's, because I'm all thumbs and I need people at Lowe's who can help me find the lug nut, wrench, whatever.
I'm a
And
Home
at Home
Depot
Depot,
guy. I'm a Home Depot guy because I don't
well,
need anyone to help me. I just need
right.
I
There
just
you go,
need good
exactly.
service. I need
Well,
good service, and I want to be able to return something and not be told sorry you can't return it like I was at Lowe's. So that's me. Not a fan of Lowe's.
And there in it, you see the difference here between my guy and myself. If you are handy, then you a Home Depot kind of do it, just DIY, and you can swing a hammer.
I think it's DIY.
What did I say?
It DIY.
DIY?
Do yourself? Is that what you said? No. Do it yourself.
DIY.
DIY. Yes.
Yeah. There you go. No, I'm a Lowe's kind of, because, and look, just as a segue, dude. Well, I don't want to segue, but last time I was recently in the Lowe's, I had a wonderful experience. The young lady was helpful, took me to where the air conditioning units were, took me over to the microwave. It was just, it guided me around. It was like I had my own personal concierge at Lowe's, from coming in around the store. She took me back up to the counter, the cash register, checked me out. I mean, it was unbelievable. Uh, oh, we take a break. The Virginia Bushcrafter has chimed in. We always love him. And let's see, QBO could be worth it depending on the seller's need. Sure. What percentage of equity is required to qualify for a QBO? Just wondering and asking. Great question. Great question. So with QBO, uh, and with the short answer is I don't know the actual equity position uh, in the property, but I would think it needs to be. Uh, I don't think it needs to be 50% LTV, but probably no greater than 75. Right?
I would say 51%. That doesn't.
51%.
I don't. I think it's pretty low. I think
It might be pretty low. It might be
Yeah.
pretty low because because these
That's
are
fine. That's fine.
well one with Keller Keller offers, we offer two different types of programs. One is based on credit worthiness. It's just a personal loan. The other one is based on equity. And so you might be right on that point uh, about how much. But continuing on with this story, which is happening right now with QBO. So we get the estimate, and now we see the estimated amount of monies needed to do the work. We know how much is owed on the property. We get their estimate gives you the return on investment, and now you're left with a number,
Right.
20,000, 30,000, and you say to yourself as you're talking with your client, is this worth it? And we're just now a moment ago established, is it worth it? Well, how much time do you have? Is time up against you? Are you facing other obligations that you need to sell? Uh, we talked about supply chain, because that's a factor, because now you're talking about stopping the selling process. You have to
Right.
take this property off the market
Right.
while the contractors come in, do the work. And so in that case, here, if we stop the marketing of the project right now, at best, you reasonably have to expect here in the District of Columbia that project is started and completed somewhere in late September, and you're bringing it back to market 1st of October. Certainly, you're not bringing it back to market at the end of August.
That might be a good time to sell, though. Fall in DC is really nice. People are moving in. People are coming to move in before the first of the year. I mean, that might be a good time to sell. If you start creeping to November, December, because of supply chain issues, then you might have a little bit of a problem. Because around once that fork hits the plate and Thanksgiving,
There you
things
go.
slow down.
Exactly. So now you're 1st of October. You're right. November is right over the bend. But here's the other thing here that you need to be mindful of when you're making this decision. Is this worth it? That the new, after remodeled value, sales price, the new sales price, it's is it just as
Waiting.
much? Is it just as much of? I'm a little hesitant. I'm a little reluctant. I'm a little reticent to say this out loud. But the truth is, this is what I tell my clients all the time. Coming up with market value for your property is both art and science, and you know where the art is coming from. But back here, right? I
From
mean,
your experience, though. I mean, a lot of it's experience.
exactly.
And you can
Exactly.
pull
And so
comps,
it's
you can pull sales. I mean, you have the
yes, but those
ability.
things are also always looking in the rear.
True.
And so therefore you're saying stop the marketing now, do this work, come back October 1, bring it back to market, with a new higher number to try to get that squeeze. Now, if that squeeze is significant, if the squeeze is 100 grand, then you say, yes, I roll a dice to try to achieve an extra 100 grand.
I agree. I think if it's less than 50, I wouldn't do it. I think 50 or above would be my kind of number.
To try to
Um,
risk, to try to. So you're
yeah,
saying is no matter what you're investing in the property, if the return on investments is, in your opinion, $50,000 or greater, it might be worth taking the shot, taking the chance.
and then you could do like a coming soon soft marketing while the work's being done. Also, kind of, you
So
know, tickle the water a little bit. Go out there and
there's
to the
always
market.
the MLS allows
Yeah,
you to do coming soon,
yeah,
and you can tell people here's the work that's being done, and all these things you can do to stimulate the market in anticipation of it coming. But the key there is those three components there about the time, the supply chain, the new sales price down the road, which is October. If you can hold on till October, if you're, the market's rates are going, and we know which way they're going between now and October.
yeah.
Anyone who is suggesting the rates are going a different direction is selling you the Brooklyn Bridge.
The other thing is the rate of return. I mean, it is part art, part science. You may not get that, and then you're out there. You've done the work. Now you're going to sell your house that's been completely redone, and you don't get that number. So now you're an unhappy seller.
Well, but worse yet, now that you've really made this financial commitment,
You might want to stay in the house. You might say, "Why am I moving?"
you've burned your bridges. Well, how about if you're not already in the house? Because in this case, you're probably not in the house. The house is probably vacant to allow for this work.
It's
So,
risky. It's a little risky.
so it's like how much, yeah, to take that risk. And this, so although the programs are beneficial and a great tool to that can help owners with their properties, uh, the recommendation here is, a, if you have a lot of equity in your home, this is a great way to leverage other people's monies. You leverage your equity in your property without borrowing, facing interest rates and charges to get the work done to position the property and then sell it. And that's a great alternative, you know, to just selling it as is and having the market negotiate against you by saying, well, your bathroom's not updated, your deck's not updated, because the market is looking to discount your asking price
Right.
because they are saying I have to bear those costs.
It's tricky. It's definitely
Well, it's a
tricky.
balancing act that we as
Yeah.
professionals have done successfully here for more than 35 years. I'm
Eat.
Anthony Bowling with the
Eat.
Anthony Bowling Group, and our leverage relationships are going to save all our clients time and make them money. And this is my partner, Fernando.
Coming live from West Gables Rehab Center in Miami, Florida.
So this is, again, why you benefit from working with experienced real estate professionals, because this is what we're seeing. This is what we are working with and practicing every day out here in the market with our sellers and buyers. Uh, and we bring this experience and this wisdom to bear when we're representing you with your next real estate assignment, whether you're looking to buy, sell, or lease real estate here in the DMV or across the country.
Yeah.
Fernando and his company are a national uh, organization that's able
International.
to
National.
international.
Internet. So Hilco has
International.
a program called Hilco Redevelopment Partners,
Okay.
who we buy the real estate. It's mostly commercial, industrial, but we will buy it.
Okay.
Um, you have a piece of real estate that's old, you want to get rid of it, you need it sold quickly within a week, 10 days time, a big piece. They will come in, do their due diligence on it very quickly, underwrite the sale, and say, "Here's our offer." It's a cash offer, obviously, and they have about $500 million to deploy. So if anyone out there has some commercial real estate they need to get rid of,
Sure.
Hilco has that. So that's our program through Hilco, where we'll
Sure.
just
You're
buy
right.
it from you. So you need to sell it, we'll buy it, and then we'll worry about it.
That's
Whether we're
right.
selling
Exactly.
it, whether we're flipping it, whether we're putting the money into it to fix it up, however it
There you
works
go.
out. But you
Those
get
are
your
the
money and you're
resources
out in
there.
10 days. So
That's right. Hey, before we go, because our time's always flying when I'm with you, Nando. We want to bring in uh, our sponsor, Global Scholars Foundation, is hosting their third annual brunch and golf event at the Woodmore Country Club in Prince George's County, Maryland. It's a fundraiser to support their efforts to host 25 uh, um, public school, charter school kids, 9 through 12th grade, in an 18-month financial literacy immersion program where at the end they actually go to those countries and spend 2 weeks there, all expenses paid. They've traveled and taken uh, cohorts, more than 200 of these young global scholars to places like China, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Egypt, Ethiopia, Spain, Brazil, and uh, they're going to be taking them somewhere in 23. And so we want to encourage you, if you're inclined to support this kind of charity, uh, consider Global Scholars. So
can
let's
they
take
can
a.
they do a donation even if they don't come to the tournament or the brunch?
They
Can they just
sure
do a
can.
flat donation to help out the kids? As we
Yes,
get closer to the, I think we should start maybe posting our website where they can go on and do a donation.
I think it's there. Let's see. Let's see. I think
Calling
it's.
all golfers and brunchers. Please mark your calendar to join the Global Scholars Foundation for a 2-day event hosting the third annual golf tournament and newly added jazz brunch at the Woodmore Country Club in Mitchellville, Maryland. The 2-day event will kick off on Sunday, October the 2nd with a jazz brunch and continue on Monday, October the 3rd for our third annual golf tournament. Please visit our website at globalscholars.foundation for more information and to register for this event.
Fruta natural. ¿No tiene fruta natural?
¿Estás hablando conmigo?
No.
Oh, vaya, yo respondiéndote.
We good?
Yeah.
All right.
What language was that?
Spanish.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk on some of the lovely nurses here that have been helping my mom out. It's been nice.
Look at this. We love the Virginia. When are we gonna get you on? When are we going to get you on the Virginia Bushcraft? You know what? I'm here. And Pretendo's.
Thank you for remembering me, Virginia Bushcrafter. Anthony, I know is obsessed with you, but I'm glad you
Hold on.
realize
Let me
I'm
let
out
me
there
just
still.
tell you this. And I know this isn't quite right because I went to your site, the Virginia Bushcraft, but I'm gonna tell you this. I stumbled onto something on, I think it was Hulu or Netflix or somewhere, called Alone. And it appears to be some kind of show where like 10 or 15 people or something have been dropped off on an island somewhere, and and then they're alone and they just have to survive. It's like survival, right? The dude's building his own shelter, protect him from the bears and this, that, and the other. And as I was watching it, I just was just thinking about. I think this is whenever I get better internet service. Fine, fair enough. We're going to be ready when you get better internet service. You're coming on this show. Yeah, but I was thinking about the Virginia bushcrafter. I was like, I think that's their thing. Wilderness, alone, survival. When you go to a site, you see a lot of those kinds of things. Knives and out shooting,
Right?
hunting.
Do we have a special host next week? Is that next week?
Uh
The 10th?
no, I think it's the 20th.
Well, it can't be the 20th.
Yeah, I think so.
10th. Well, the 10th, the 17th, the 24th.
Maybe it is the 24th.
Okay.
Is this month? Is this month? So we're
Okay.
gonna start. We're gonna have a special host. Special host. Do we announce it now? Like every
No,
week?
no, it's too far out.
Too much of a teaser. That was enough of a teaser.
Yeah.
That is coming on
I'm
the
working
24th.
on another guest too. Hopefully, maybe the next 2 weeks we'll have another
Okay,
guest.
okay, that's fine. Well, hey guys, we want to thank you again for joining us here on Chasing Gazillions. Ain't the same as making millions,
Getting closer.
but it's getting closer. Wednesdays with Fernando and Anthony, coming to you live. Just two real estate professionals uh, sharing with you their experiences, uh, and here to answer your questions, be a resource to you, and to do what we can to use our leverage resources on your behalf. Hey,
Perfect.
Fernando, dude, I'm saying prayers for your mama, man.
All right, I appreciate it.
Yeah, we prayers going up here
She's gonna
for
be
your
fine. She
mama.
just has to heal. 6 week
Well,
process to heal.
yeah, I know, but you say she 84,
86.
86, dude.
Tough though. Tough 86.
A tough 86, a tough 86. I love that, man. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you was able to go down and be with your mama
Same.
and give some
Next
love,
week.
get some love from us.
Next week, I promise I'll be at home.
Oh, will you?
Well, you never know. I'm hoping to be home next week.
Oh, is that
Jeez,
right?
what a run! It's been like a 6 week run. Every week
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I don't know what next week is because I just put Absalom on a flight back to Memphis today, and I think next week I'm supposed to be going to Memphis to help him. My lady wants to. What's up with this, man, dude? Can
Stop.
somebody, can
Stop.
somebody out there help me? Help me, dude. Hey, I know I've been married 31 years. I know I've been a parent 23 with my daughter and 20 with my son.
No
I'm
one
just
helped me
saying,
move in. I took
help.
a Greyhound from
Right? That's
Miami to Maryland with my backpack, and that's my moving in.
come on, man. Is this me? And some is
27 hours.
my lady's talking about let's go help Absalom move. This is a grown man. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. I know where it comes from because for Eliza, the truth is, I flew down to New Orleans every semester, packed her up, put it in the storage, brought her home, went back, unpacked her, came home. It was a nice trip to New Orleans. I'm not saying I wouldn't enjoy Memphis and going down there, but I'm looking at my lady the other night. I'm saying, laying in the bed, I'm saying, well, we going on vacation to Memphis. Is something going on in Memphis? Well, Absalom's going back to school. And the dude is 20. He in the frat. I mean, come on, man.
He's playing football too.
Come
Let's talk about
on.
that. They played
That dude
Temple.
doesn't. Who is? Are we supposed to go down here just to help him move in to his? Well, it's his first apartment
We're
off
talking about
Memphis.
practice. Are we talking about practice? Come on, man.
I don't know, man. So if you out there, let me know where I'm missing it. I'm open to some therapy. Holler back at me about me and my parenting, and as a dad, a father, Am I scarring him? Hey, here's what I'm gonna say about that. I'm gonna tell you this right off the break. If the dude is scarred, all I got to say is this. When he was a child, I never dropped him on his head. So whatever, whoever he is, that's who he is. It's not because I was negligent and dropped him on his head. I did not.
No, but this show was going really good till like the last 3 minutes because you hadn't screamed the whole show, and then you started screaming. Can't have a show without AB screaming. I'm just saying, it was good, and then you had to blow it up a little. That's good.
Then I started screaming. I don't know
Part of
what's
your
up with
charm.
that.
It's part of your charm.
I'm trying to pull back on the screaming. I don't know what
screaming's
happened.
good. We can't change who we are. What are you doing?
No, it's too late for that.
Yeah. Way too late for that. Well, that's great. I'm moving in my son next weekend too. So,
are you moving him in?
I am.
Back to Temple.
Back to Temple. Me and the wife are going there.
Oh, so you are going?
Oh yeah, I'm doing the same thing as you, man. I didn't say I wasn't.
You was fronting like you weren't. You were like,
no.
Me.
No. I said the kids were soft. I didn't say we were soft. No. Nobody moved me in. You kidding me? No, I'm moving him in next weekend.
Oh my God, you are moving him in next week because he's going to be a rising junior also.
Sophomore.
He's a year behind.
Yep. So Temple plays Memphis in football. We'll have to go to that game.
You know that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you are. So maybe I'm just some side of Neanderthal. Maybe I am supposed to be going down there and move my son in.
It's a good thing. You get check out his new friends, check out where he's living. It's a good look-see. It's a good into his private life during college. I like to go to look around, who you moving in with, who you living with, where you living.
He's moving back in with Charles, his roommate from high school, who's been with him every step of the way. Him and Charles.
Good. Charles' parents coming to help out too?
No, and I love them. Dude, Charles's parents. Dude, Charles's
I hope they're not listening. As we roast, I hope they're not listening.
Dude, I'm pretty sure. I would bet Charles's parents haven't even been down in Memphis.
Wow.
No, man, I love Charles's parents. I love his dad. I love Charles's parents. Charles's parents are like, oh, you going to college? Oh, good. College is good.
So they're 70s parents. They're like our parents.
They're like, it seems like it's like, hey man, let me know what you need. Holla. I mean, they're not like not supportive. They're like, yeah, let me know what you need. You don't need no, okay, they're straight. Oh, you moving off campus? No problem. Okay, cool, whatever. But they not going down.
No. I hope Charles has a lot of friends, strong friends, to help him.
All right, we out of here. We've had
all right.
So much fun.
We'll see you. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, all the best. Take care.
Bye-bye.